Something else that was experimental, which aired on Monday night, was Kiss Me First. This has more of a budget, first of all, I think. It's sort of a dual production with Channel 4 and Netflix, I believe. It's an adaptation of a YA novel, basically, and it's being created for the screen by Brian Elsley, who co-created Skins. Focuses on Layla. It starts with the death of her mother. Learn that she hasn't got any sort of real friends. She spends most of her time playing this what was it like? Is it AI game? There's a certain an online role-playing game. She spends most of her time on this. It's called Agora. Half of the series is sort of set in this world, so it's sort of Avatar style animation. You see Layla through her avatar. The first episode sort of sees her discover this sort of rogue group who use the game, who describe themselves as Red Pill, and I felt really old when she had to Google what Red Pill meant about The Matrix, and it's like, but The Matrix is a modern film. Oh no, it was 19 years ago. She is struggling for money following her mum's death. She has to work as a sort of waitress type cleaner in a local cafe and has to rent her mum's old bedroom out to this Welsh jobbing actor. And by, she sort of meets in the flesh the girl who she's sort of been following. Her avatar name Mania. We learn she's called Tess. And the last section of it is her sort of meeting the sort of the Red Pill gang and sort of going undercover as Mania while she's at Tessie, as she's staying over at Tessie's house. Luke, now you were saying about being out of your comfort zone. This was completely out. Comfort zone.
This was out of my comfort zone, yeah. If we hadn't have been talking about the city and the city just, I would have said this was bad. But there's bad, and then there's the city and the city, in my view. This wasn't for me. I can appreciate the ambition behind it. I didn't get enough time in her own world to then care about her in the virtual reality world. It was almost as if they'd said, well, we're spending all this money on this VR stuff, and we've billed it as that. We got to get there straight away. So we didn't even get any time with her mum before she died. We didn't know much about her, and I just found a lot of the dialogue quite clunky. A lot of the acting wasn't that interesting to me, and I didn't have any desire by the time it ended to seek out episode 2, which will be on next Monday. It just wasn't for me, and I can completely see that it was ambitious, something we've certainly never seen in TV drama before, and they should perhaps be commended for that, but it just didn't have in any of the ingredients I look for in something that's going to keep me coming back for more.
I don't think there was enough in this for us. As you said, we're not sort of the target audience. I would praise Tallulah Haddon. I thought she was excellent as Layla. I found her compelling as a character when we saw her in the sort of normal world. But my issues were similar to yours in that I would have liked to have seen more of her. I didn't sort of believe if they're going to be doing a romance between Layla and Tess. There wasn't a lot of chemistry there.
All the dialogue was very clunky.
Yeah, and it was quite empty almost of any sort of
it felt
life.
soulless. It felt soulless, didn't it?
The only sort of character was the roommate, the Welsh roommate.
I felt like he was just there though, rather than being,
He was just sort of popped in to be the comic relief, really, didn't he? I can't even remember. Was it Jonty or something there?
The whole thing, due to the whole VR thing, it was all very colourful, very bright, and the show itself was anything but colourful and bright. It was dull. I did struggle with it because it wasn't engaging at all.
I agree that it feels like, we spent so much money on this virtual world, we need to sort of catapult you in there straight away. I could see the parallels, not the parallels, but the fact that this had a Skins style element to it through the character of Layla. You could see her being in Skins, but the whole sort of virtual world I didn't get on board with either.
Okay, so Kiss Me First. Ambitious, but ultimately a bit lifeless. Mondays at 10 on Channel 4.